I'm hard to do a retrospective for, because I can't remember when I did anything, and I never kept records. And a lot of stuff that's out there, I have no idea where it is. I sold things to people that, somehow, I don't know how we happened to interface, but they wanted something, I gave them a price, they bought it. And I may have, if they paid me with a check, there may be evidence in some scrap of paper, but I was just terrible about that. My thing is I just like to make things, and I did what I wanted to do basically in life. In those TED lectures, my daughter had me listen to one where they were talking about leisure, and actually the definition, it sort of came down to the idea of leisure was you doing what you wanted to do. And by and large, that's what I did all my life. Some of it was harder than others, but it's that theory that everybody does what they want to do. Your money or your life, and you're going to make that do the one you want to do.
That's nice. I can pop it up just for a second if somebody wants to pull it.
Yeah, that's all we need. All right, you ready? Give me a little slack. Yeah.
After I wrote that report, I came back and wanted to work for David, and David goes, well, no, and then finally I came by one day and they had this big piece of bronze and said, if you can get it up in that hole, then I'll hire you. And I got it up in the hole. And so that's when I started working with David.
So he hired you for your muscle, not your brain.
That's exactly correct. My muscle, not my brain. It was true. And rewarding at the same time, because what you got to do when you were working here, you got to see the ins and outs of every piece that was done. We did full bronze casting in the back. 2,400 pound hot metal poured into the crucibles.
Well, for me, it was the first time, and still to this day, the best introduction I could possibly imagine of what it was like to be the joys and the pitfalls of being an artist. We'll say a professional artist, because he said so many interesting things that I think about today, and I tell my students at the university the same thing. He said, you need to learn to get the joy out of doing the work. You don't find that in textbooks, but it's the truth. If you find the joy in doing the actual work, you're like David. You're still working at 92.
Yeah, he loves what he does.
Yeah.
And that is a huge difference, because there are so many people who do not love what they do, yet they're making a lot of money. And David has done both, done well financially and done well doing what he loves to do. And that's bringing that joy, that creativity, that flexibility of design that he brings to the table that many people do not, because It's not just about a one subject matter. He crosses the realm from funny to serious.
And it's physical. Everything he does is physical.
He's very authentic. He lives his life to be an artist, and he is an artist through and through, and not in the eccentric, selfish way, but in a very giving and expressive way. So he's a beautiful man. He makes beautiful art. He's very tied to his family, which I think is lovely. He's very close to his 2 daughters. He and his wife had a wonderful marriage, and so I think the fact that he does a lot of figural work and that it relates around humans. He likes people and he likes dogs, and it shows in his work that he's very family oriented. You can tell there's a lot of love when you look at the work, that there's love. I mean, he lives his religion, he lives his through his family, but he expresses it by making artwork.
Anyway, I've enjoyed what I did and was fortunate